Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about VMware's vRealize operation, latest edition 8.2. I'm going to cover a bit overview and the installation step by step. I'll straight away jump into the license editions available for this version. So just like earlier version, we do have standard, advanced and enterprise edition. So if you see on the left hand side, I have listed the features available. So to start with, there are options like applications, middleware, database monitoring, and all these features are only available on Enterprise Edition, wherein these editions are available as a SaaS based public cloud offering, as well as we can go ahead and deploy it in on-premise SDDC deployment or a setup, right? And then the next one is available on-premise license suite, and this is available only in an advanced and enterprise edition. And then comes the private cloud costing. This feature was available as a separate product, which we used to call as vRealize Business. So, and this has been discontinued uh, from 8 onwards until 7.6 it is available, and this feature is available on standard as very basic function. And if you need advanced features like comparing the pricing model in on-premise or in public cloud, and when you are deploying a new VM based on the sizing and things, and if you wanted to understand how much it is going to cost when you deploy it in a on-premise, and how much it is going to cost when you deploy it in a public cloud like in AWS or Azure, it will definitely give you the comparison. Those features are available only in Advanced and Enterprise Edition. So, and similarly, operating system monitoring, Kubernetes monitoring, these two features are available only in Advanced and Enterprise Edition. And performance monitoring and analysis, standard gives you the performance of the base platform, which is the vSphere, and the ESX and vCenter we should be able to monitor. And beside that, if you wanted to monitor the entire SDDC, VMware Cloud on AWS, VCPP, you need to have advanced. And in addition to that, hybrid cloud and multiple cloud is available under Enterprise Edition. And as you are aware, every metrics has been monitored or collected by using management packs, and in with the standard edition we get 15 plus for compute and storage only, and 50 plus management packs comes along with the advanced edition. Compute, storage, networking, hyperconverged and other hypervisors come as part of advanced. Enterprise edition comes with 75 plus compute, storage, networking, converged, other hypervisors, containers and public cloud. So this is definitely the good option available if the customer is an enterprise class and they have already invested in multiple platforms, and rather than depending on multiple monitoring solution, VROPS is one solution which will give you monitoring plus costing, and we should be able to use the same tool for troubleshooting and various other purposes like capacity management and sizing, and troubleshoot if there is performance related issues. Quickly take a look at the construct or what are the components available when you wanted to deploy VROPS. So basically we have analytic nodes which has primary and replica nodes, and then data nodes. And next comes the remote collector. So basically remote collectors are required if you have multiple data centers, and if you wanted to collect the data without having much network latency. It's always advised to have remote collectors deployed locally, and which would collected which would be part of the collector groups, and this can be directly attached to the management packs, so which will actually collect the data and pass it on to the analytics nodes. So there are various deployment models available, which probably I'll be covering it in the next video. And next comes the witness node. In a standard deployment, you don't really need it, but yes, if it is necessary, if you are planning to have a continuous availability enabled, in a scenario where you have a stretched cluster and multiple fault domains, then definitely we need to have a witness node. And then comes the management packs and adapters. So management packs and adapters are essential to monitor various different IT infrastructure components. So be it networking components or storage or any application on the operating system, and there are plenty in the list. And then comes the EPOPs or the telegraph agents. So earlier this the same agent used to call as EPOPs. So these are available for the operating system. We just need to install it, these agents, and which would collect the metrics locally and then push it to the analytical nodes. Okay, so in this slide I'm trying to just showcase the difference between a high availability and continuous availability. So both of these options are available, and it does not mean that this is kind of a disaster recovery solution. It's not. If you plan to have a highly available deployment, then definitely high availability as well as continuous availability need to be considered. High availability creates a replica for the vRealize Operation Manager primary node and protects the analytics cluster against the loss of a node. Let me elaborate a bit. So high availability can be considered if you have a single data center and you have one master cluster in vSphere, and where you have planned to deploy multiple nodes, which will definitely help you to duplicate the analytical data by deploying two or more than two appliances. And continuous availability comes into picture if you have multiple data centers, multiple fault domains, and it's deployed in a stretch cluster. Then yes, we get an opportunity wherein you can separate the nodes in multiple locations and physical servers. And if one of the physical site completely goes down, still you will have the monitoring and data collection happen, and you should be able to monitor the entire IT infrastructure without any difficulty. So these things needs to be planned well in advance before we consider. And as you are aware, uh, VMware has given multiple choices now. Either you can consider SaaS-based approach, or you can have your own data center. With this, I'm concluding the introduction part of this small video, and straight away let's jump into the installation step by step. Thank you. Deployment of vRealize Operation Manager 8.2. So before I start, I just wanted to let you know I'm gonna follow the single instance deployment. The same installation can be done by using Lifecycle Manager as well. So I have downloaded the OVF file already. So I'm just quickly going ahead and then pointing to the vRealize Operation Manager appliance. So here is the appliance. This is for 8.2. And click next. I'm gonna give the name which I have already in my DNS. So I'm just gonna copy it from here. Then paste. So I'm gonna give the same name. Next cluster. Yeah, good. Looks like it's taking a little extra time. Okay. Yeah, so the point which we need to really notice here is the size on the disk. If you are deploying it for a POC or a test environment, go ahead with a thin, or if you are going ahead with the production deployment, I would recommend to go with a thick provision. And here, click next. Accept the license agreement. Next. So here, if you see, there are multiple options where we can choose the deployment size, and as I was mentioning in the beginning, we have vRealize Operation Manager, and then we have analytic nodes and remote collector and witness. If you are enabling cluster availability, we need to have the witness node. So here in this page we have different option wherein you get the data or details about the resource needed, the CPU size and CPU and the memory that each VApp is going to actually consume, right? So in this deployment, I'm just going ahead with a small, since I have a very small lab setup. Okay. And then, as I was saying, since it's my lab, I'm going ahead with the thin provisioning and choosing the data store. I'm going ahead with the default network. Fill in the network details. Search path. So I'm going to keep the same name here. The name servers, my tour of 160.2. That's my DNS server. And then mask. Next. Okay, quickly validate the configuration and then click finish. So this might take a Okay, so the deployment is completed. So I'm gonna quickly turn this appliance on. Let's hope it comes up. Hopefully it will boot faster. I'm gonna pause the booting for a while. Once it is up, I'll continue the record. Thank you guys. Welcome back. So I have the installation done here. So we will quickly open the console. Change the URL. It's going to be 110. So here is the initial setup screen. We have three options, just like the older versions. We can have this appliance or VApp added into the existing installation, or we can quickly set up by using the express installation, which is the first option. And this demo, I'm going to choose new installation. And yeah, choose next. To set up a new cluster, quickly I'll give a password here. And in the next screen, I'm going to select the default certificate since I don't have a certificate ready, and I'll give the name as like the same name which I have set in the DNS. So alright, I'm not choosing the NTP server. I'll leave it blank. I'll use the host timing. Configure availability. Okay, so this new version have got two different approach for high availability, right? So in this deployment or demo, I'm not choosing any either, but I will quickly explain. This is the same theory which I was talking in the beginning. So we have two options, either we can go with a high availability or continuous availability. So high availability means that a single node failure, it can tolerate a single node failure, and the continuous availability needs a witness host, and it sets two different default domain or fault domains, right? And so each node in the fault domain would be paired, and these would be monitored by the witness node. And as a best practices, it's recommended to have all these nodes in the same VLAN, and it shouldn't be in the stretched VLAN if the continuous availability is enabled, right? And yeah, so I'll go ahead with the no availability just for the purpose of small demo, right? So I have only one appliance, so I'm just going ahead with the next step to quickly finish. Okay, this This is configuring the cluster. Okay, so this is just a warning message to before I start the plans. So it's initializing for the first time. So let's wait until it comes online. Okay, the state should change from not running to online, and the status should change from offline to online. So let's wait. Offline or not running to running, and offline to waiting for analytics. Okay, looks like it's coming up. I'm gonna pause the video for a while so that I can reduce the length of the video.